The following takes place between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Time, somewhere in Canada. Rise and shine. It's 6:20, what is it? 6:24. The sub told me, 6:24. And it's one of the most accurate timepieces around. But we have a full slate here. We're going 24 hours with the ROLEX Submariner. One of the things that gets me is when you wake up and you look at the watch and you just say, oh my goodness, it is such a gorgeous piece to look at first thing in the morning. There's a reason why so many companies make homages of iconic designs, because they're the best. From the design to the function, the build quality, a workhorse, powerhouse movement, and overall great wear, the ROLEX Submariner is one of the best watches ever made. Created in 1953, 1954, I believe it was, the Submariner has truly stood the test of time. It's always been a marvel in watchmaking. Hans Wilsdorf is a genius. With so many variants, style colors, special models, cool nicknames, the Rolex is the next level dive watch a lot aspire to be. Logged on in the office. Now I gotta make sure the dog gets her food. Break time. Break time. Gotta take the dog for a walk. Gotta go pee. We're going pee. What are you doing? She likes to chase leaves. The wind is picking up out here. Look at this gorgeousness. Ay, ay, ay. There's always so much talk about the alternatives. Guess what? There's a reason why we want that. We want the real thing. Don't waste your time and money on the alternatives. Get the real thing, because you'll never be happy until you do. Just make sure you save your money, though, and buy responsibly. As much as I love the brand, I don't own one because they're just a little bit outside of my budget. Now, I know you're probably aware that I come from a law enforcement and covert operations background, and so no surprise that some of my favorite shows are that of like The Blacklist or 24, one of my favorites, Jack Bauer, Kiefer Sutherland, one of the all-time greats there. Coincidentally enough, in the first season of 24, the Rolex Submariner is the watch that Jack Bauer is wearing when he's in action. Still haven't gone pee yet, have you? No, you haven't gone pee yet. You stay down. Look how much time it's been already. We've been out here for a few minutes already. Okay, she did it again. I'm not a dog guy. I kind of caved and I said, okay, Amy, Mateo, we can get another dog. But it's 4 months now and she's not peeing out there. She pees in the garage. We got to get that rectified. We gotta. It's kind of starting to smell in here. Any tips, any whatever you got for me, let me know. Comment below. How do we get this puppy to start peeing outside? I thought dogs marked their territory on their own, like all over the place. I'm just not getting it. And maybe she's just not getting it right now. Maybe it's gonna take a little time, but comment below, let me know what you know about dogs. It's a Frenchton, it's like a Boston Terrier and French Bulldog cross. So whatever you know, let me know. Thanks to Eric for the loaner, I appreciate all the support. You know the specs, but just in case, we'll pop them up there for you so you can take a look, because this is going to be a great one. I think this might be the longest edit ever for my channel. But it's worth it. It's a true icon. I'm going 24 hours with the ROLEX Submariner Date on the wrist. Oyster steel, reference 126610LN. A traditional black dial, ultimate visibility as the backdrop for this contrasting loomed dial materials. They just pop at you. It's awesome. Even with a little bit of light exposure, they charge up so easily and can often be seen glowing there when you come in from outside. It's pretty special. 41mm case, 20mm lug, 48mm lug to lug, 12.5mm thickness, 155 grams for the full package, oyster steel and all, 300 meters of water resistance or 1,000 feet. This thing is remarkable. 904L stainless steel, ultimate corrosion resistance, a huge priority for a watch that's around some harsh elements, especially ocean seawater. For starters, you will have that peace of mind that no matter what you expose the watch to, it's going to withstand it. Now wait till you hear the price. I hope you're going to stick around for that one, because, whoo, we may have to have a separate discussion just for that. I mean, it is amazing, though, when you think back to the 70s, a couple or a few $100 the Rolex Submariner costs. It's a little different now, but we're talking over 70 years. The Oyster Perpetual Submariner Date with this Cerachrome bezel insert, which is black ceramic, a black dial with large luminescent hour markers, hands, lollipop seconds hand, and that primary indicator position, all lit up for you for ultimate visibility. Low light situations? What is that? Whew, Rolex Submariner's got you covered. I mean, and these are the essentials for diving and working in dark environments. I mean, for starters, I don't know too many jobs, if you're actually working in dark environments, that you would require a luxury timepiece like this. I mean, Seiko Loom might just be able to do it for you. A steel case with the screw-down sign crown, all done with the polished sides and brushed top look. Crown guards to assist with nothing catching onto this crown, just in case. And it's nice and beefy, too. A good, nice crown, easy to handle, especially with my big hands and fat fingers. It's so hard to explain the feel of luxury on the wrist. I mean, I tell you, if you haven't had the experience to at least have it in your hands, not to mention on your wrist, you haven't lived. If you are a watch enthusiast, you have to try this thing on. It is ultimate comfort and stability. It's a tool watch, and it's the ultimate tool watch dating back to the 70 plus years. Unidirectional bezel is your timing instrument. 60-minute graduations used for timing oxygen dive times and decompression stops along the way while you're coming up for air and you're going just a little bit deeper than normal. Now the bezel's got the knurled edges, which allows for excellent grip and manipulation of the bezel even with gloves on. It's the most responsive grip you're ever going to feel, and it's one of those great things that a lot of the homages want to try to replicate. A smooth ratcheting, but not so much ratcheting, 120 click action that doesn't feel like the older models. It's a lot smoother, but still sharp and on point with no play. Now, I've reviewed the Seamaster 300M, and wow, that is an impressive timepiece. But the one little tiny issue that I had with that bezel design for the 300M was its operation and lack of grip capability there when you're trying to turn it. Maybe it's just me and my fat hands, but comment below, let me know if you've had that issue too. I just needed to squeeze it kind of a little harder than normal to get it to turn without slipping off. There's no slip here. That is pretty impressive. Like, you're turning that with ease. Are you listening to that? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unidirectional bezel, on point. Now the dial carries a lot of history in this design. The Rolex and the crown at the 12 with the Oyster Perpetual date listed below it. We have a 4-line of text here for this Submariner. Obviously its name, then we have 1,000 feet or 300 meters. We have superlative chronometer officially certified below that. And on this dial at the 3 o'clock position where you would expect it is your date. With the Cyclops here for that added visibility. I mean, as I'm getting older, my eyes are getting a little bit worse. It's one of those things. So this is not a problem for me. I can appreciate it. And as such, things become a little bit increasingly tougher to see. But you know what? There is no doubt with this one. All I can say is it's gorgeous and the measurements are awesome. They allow for a great wrist wearing experience. Men, women, doesn't matter. The Submariner is not only one of the most recognizable, but definitely one of the most functional Swiss-made divers around. Period. It's so good I even struggle to find a flaw. Now the only thing that may cause some concern for some, not me, I'm all good with it, is the fact that we have this date model with the Cyclops. I know some of you don't really appreciate that Cyclops or the date. I know you'd rather have the no date system. It's not a bad complication for me. I can take it or leave it. I mean, my first choice, if I had to choose, I would go with no date, but I still love this model too. In fact, many say your first Rolex should look like this. That's sourced from the Book of Rolex, page 136. A little history here to save you the read. Consider it like a time saver, like an audiobook. But did you know, fun facts, the original design in 1953 was waterproof to 100 meters, and it wasn't until the following year that it increased to 200 meters. And then, 1989, boom, 300 meters to present day. Now, the model that we have here, the Submariner Date, was originally 200 meters when it was launched in 1969, and then in 1979 and onward, it became 300 meters. Interesting stuff. Now the movement, the powerhouse of the Rolex Submariner. In-house caliber Rolex 3235, 28,800 vibrations per hour. Smooth sweeping large seconds hand. I love it. It's the heartbeat of the watch. Hacking and quick set date capability. Optimal parts like a parachrome hairspring, which when exposed to different temperatures, this watch won't skip a beat. And it's virtually insensitive to strong magnetic interference. Now, Wow, this is what we paid for, the stuff under the hood, protecting that watch. It's awesome. It's a certified chronometer and should have a rate variation of no more than plus or minus 2 seconds a day. And what does it have? A 70-hour power reserve. Boom. There you go right there. Let's see. You take it off your wrist on Friday and you go to put it back on Monday and it's still ticking and keeping accurate time. Now the Oyster bracelet enclosure here, wow, this 3-link Oyster bracelet is awesome. With the updated closure now with that glide lock adjustment system, you know, for those larger wrists and to go over wet gear and stuff. Smooth looking brushed quality steel. And take a look at this thing. Look at that, how it sits there on the wrist. It is just dynamite. And it has that, what is that, convex or concave? Because it's not as wide with the base of that back plate all the way across the width of the watch, it's basically in the center of that dial. It makes it sit that much better on the wrist. It really looks really thin and streamlined. And the Oyster bracelet, don't even get me started on that thing. With that closure, whoo, it is sweet. It finishes off the design with elegance and yet toughness at the same time. The entire package is just remarkable. I'm super impressed. It's my first modern day Rolex Submariner to be on the wrist, and it doesn't disappoint me whatsoever. As an enthusiast and a collector of watches that suit my taste, there would be always room for something like this. Wow. Unfortunately, I will have to wait. For how long, I don't know, but my passion has allowed me to get hands-on with this one, and I truly appreciate it. That's why I'm sharing it with you. I don't care how long the video is. Thanks for hanging around this long. I'm glad you're still here. We haven't even talked about the cost yet, and that's a serious issue here. And things could get a little complicated because now we're in love with the design and we want to wear it, we want to get it. However, it comes with a heavy price tag. What do I always say? You never regret buying quality. $13,500 Canadian right now at your local authorized dealer. And that's not even the biggest headache. You may not even be able to buy it. That's the biggest problem. You can walk into your authorized dealer right now and for some reason they may not sell it to you. All depends on the relationship, the rapport, maybe your buying history, and all of that comes into play. There's so many different factors. If you have time, you can always create all of those different steps and memories as you go, and hopefully one authorized dealer will be able to pull the trigger for you. This isn't Walmart. You're not going to pick up a Timex, so you got to be prepared for that. This is Rolex. It comes at a cost, and it's going to cost you time, and it's going to cost you money. But damn, the thing is gorgeous. Wow, it's impressive. All right, I got to get going. I think we've got a lot of the interior shots looked after, but I got to go get some exercise here. Hit the ball around. No, I won't be wearing the Rolex Submariner on the wrist for this, despite a lot of the high impact stuff that's going on the court. But I mean, even Tiger Woods takes his Sea Dweller off. Go get a little exercise, come on back, have some dinner with the family. And I think I'm settling in with the missus for a little White Lotus tonight. The Rolex Submariner Date. I'm Ross. This has been a wonderful 24 hours on the wrist. Thanks to Eric for the loaner. I appreciate you, brother. Too bad it's got to go back. Wow. Thanks for spending time with me and listening to me rant and celebrate one of the greatest watches ever made. You get a chance to put the Rolex Submariner on your wrist. Don't hesitate. Do all the things. Get all the algorithm working. See you on the next one.